So let's get going. Today, for those of you who've just come on, welcome. We are going to be, I am going to be talking about first date tips. As I said, it is getting close to the summer, and summer is a great time for dating. So let's get prepared so that you, when time comes, you know what to do. So a lot of you are probably going to think that I'm going to go in here and talk to you about, this is how you show up, this is what to wear, this is what to do, right? Like I'm going to give you a list of to-dos to do. But here is the thing. I can give you all the to-dos in the world to do and to apply to your first date in terms of like what to wear and what lipstick to go on with and what to say and how to sit and all of that, how to flirt. But none of that is going to work for you. None of it is going to work for you if you are not an irresistible woman by way of your identity. Some of you have heard me said that and you're like, Raeeka, come on. I mean it. Who you are, what you believe around your love life, hi Sammy, is going to be exactly the reason why or why not you are going to find love. Please write this down and have a pen and paper handy. If you don't, though there would be the recording of this, you can come back and listen to it again, but have a pen and paper ready to take notes. The number one thing that you want to know for your first impression or your first dates, and honestly, this is first dates or third dates, you want to make sure that you have worked out your identity around love, men, relationships, finding love, deservability, I made that word up, of love. If you think, I talked to a woman last night and unfortunately she was not ready to, sign up and be in my Irresistible program because she has this very strong belief that she is so working based on her circumstances from the past. In the past, she signed up to work, it didn't work. First of all, she's never worked with a dating coach, but she signed up for courses, it never worked. Second of all, she believes truly that it's not in the cards for her. If you have those kind of thoughts, I strongly recommend you don't even listen to this video. It's not going to be helpful to you. I can't help you. Nobody can help you. And really, unsubscribe from being in my community because you're not going to find love. I will tell you, you are 100% right. If you think that you don't deserve to have love, you won't find love. That is what I'm talking about, the identity. So no matter how many tips I give you, you are going to go on the date. You are going to apply some of the stuff that I've given you, but the person who's doing the tips that I gave you is this person whose identity is not evolved around love, men, dating. Does that make sense? Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Does this make sense? Say yes in the comments so I know that we are on the same page. So in order to find love and in order to show up on the first date, truly being someone who is in charge of the way she shows up, you want to first and foremost really get clear about how you identify with finding love. And if you have trouble, then seek help. There are experts like myself and many others, you don't have to work with me, many others out there who will help you get past this issue. Because if you don't have the identity of a woman who deserves to find love, who deserves to be successful with men, with quality men, with relationship ready men, you will stay single. And if you find love, it's not going to be the kind that's good for you. So the same patterns that you have experienced so far, it's going to happen again. Does that make sense? Say yes if it makes sense in the comments, please. Okay, good. So here is the second thing that is important. So when you get your identity, intact, and you are going into finding love with this personality, with this mindset, with this belief that I might completely screw this date up. This guy might totally not be the right guy for me. But I believe that I will finally find love. It doesn't matter if it's now or later. I will find the guy, right? So then I want you to really ground yourself before a first date, whatever you are doing, because a lot of us work, right? And then we go straight from work into a date. It is 100% your responsibility to ground yourself, meditate, do self-hypnosis if you do that, listen to hypnosis tapes if you do, or not tapes, but MP3s. I listen to Harmony, this free app online. Make sure that you, even if it is just for a few minutes, like just 3 minutes, you just sit down. You could put your hand on your heart, or you could just put your hand like this, or you could just put it down, open it, like put it on your thigh, and just sit, grounding yourself, closing your eyes, and taking a deep breath. And the more you inhale, you bring in that energy in which you want to show up with. Curious, kind, compassionate, confident, deserving of love. And with each exhale, let go of any of those question marks, the what ifs that are going to pop into your head. Just think of it as a bubble and pop it. Ding, there goes that negative thought and that negative thought. And this is what I want to tell you. You will never get rid of negative thoughts. I promise you. Because negative thoughts are hi Sandra, negative thoughts are a part of our life. We're human. We are going to experience negative thinking. However, what you are capable of doing, and the difference between you and the women who have not done the work, is that you don't stay there. You notice it coming, but you don't stay there. I have negative thoughts too, and I'm a coach, and I work on myself every single day. It's a practice, but it never means that my expectation is that I'm not going to be triggered, or I'm not going to feel self-doubt, or maybe even hopeless. I will feel all of that, but I won't stay there. Hi Christine, that is the difference. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? There are a lot of people on the line, so please make sure that you are answering yes or no, so I can gauge and know if what I'm saying makes sense to you or not. If you have any questions, let me know. And those of you who are listening at home, if you have any questions, email me. So here is the thing about the after this. So when you ground yourself, you really get that energy of work and energy of, the hashtag boss lady that you can be at work. That energy is so inappropriate for you on dating. So you want to make sure that you really tune into the softer side of you, the feminine, open, nurturing side of you. All right? Then after that, you want to make sure that you are going on this first date for growth, not outcome. This is number 3. You are dating for growth, not outcome. 90% of women date because they want to have an outcome, and they crash and burn over and over and over again. Why? Because they are so attached to what they can get from the date. Is this going to be the guy? Is this guy going to work out? If it doesn't work out, I have to go on a date again. All that negative chatterbox is going to make you go on this date and either be too much or retreat and, you know, have your proverbial, you know, arms up, crossed, right? Sammy says, that is my biggest takeaway from your teaching. Oh, Sammy, I love having you in my program. Thank you, honey. You're doing such a great job. So it is very important that, and I think what Sammy means, because I know her and she works with me, is that she means the biggest thing that she took away is dating for growth, not outcome. You are dating so that you can learn more about yourself. You can learn how can you push yourself out of your comfort zone. You can learn how you can see things differently, how you can show up differently, how you can communicate differently, how you can be more vulnerable if you're not used to being vulnerable, how you can give a guy a chance when your default tendency is to rule men out rather than ruling them in. So date for growth. Does that make sense? All right. Sammy says, and it extends to my personal life, even just with colleagues, questioning with curiosity, not judgment. That is right. Everything that I'm telling you is exactly going to affect the other parts of your life. That's what's so amazing about what I'm teaching you. All right. Now, after that, you want to make sure that you go on that first date completely without your attachment to the past. Again, this client who couldn't stand up for what her heart desired, and she saw it as, I need to have 100%, you know, I need to know if this is going to work for me, which is perfectly fine. This client has made a huge, she took away the opportunity for her to see that the flip side of what has happened up until now is possible. So use these 3 words. I've put it in my posts everywhere. I've used it in the blogs everywhere. I say it on my Facebook Lives. I say it in the emails. Up until now are your 3 magical words that you can use to detach yourself from the experiences of the past. It is not smart to operate based on the past. It is not smart. Even though it feels smart, it feels like, well, you know, if I've experienced something and I made a mistake, I shouldn't do it. I get you. But what you're not understanding is that this man is not that man. So if you go in on your first date with your arms crossed, with your proverbial boxing gloves out, bobbing and weaving and protecting yourself and making sure that you don't get taken advantage of, that you don't make mistakes, guess what's going to happen? You are going to come across as someone who's not available or who has this fight energy. Sorry, dating tips, ladies. I have to put, I got to put, yeah, batteries. So you're going to then feel totally bad. I mean, you're going to feel totally closed off, and the guy is not actually able to see you. So what is he experiencing? You're not available. You are not ready for love, right? Oh, that's better with the, oh, I see what you guys are hearing with the noise, because you're hearing my computer. I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, got it. I got it, dating tips, ladies. Thank you for that. Sorry. Okay, so that's what you are you need to understand then. That whenever you go in with bringing this past with you in your present experience, you're basically taking away from yourself the opportunity to show up as your confident self And most importantly, you're taking it away from the, hi Zhenya, you're taking it away from the guy to see you as a woman who is irresistible, who's totally willing and ready to explore a relationship, who's easygoing. Not easy meaning you're going to jump into having sex, but your energy is welcoming, right? Sammy says another big takeaway is, yes, I may get hurt, but when I date for growth or live for growth, I now know my own strength to learn from it and move on. Bingo, you nailed it, Sammy, you nailed it. All right. Margaret, now you don't hear me? That is weird. How can you not hear me? Can you hear me now, guys? Oh, this is not good. Okay. Margaret, let me know if you can hear me now, because that concerns me if you can't hear me. All right. Technology, I'll tell you. If every time I want to come to a Facebook Live worrying about what happened last time, it's going to be because every time there's something new that I'm learning. Anyway, at any rate. So, Margaret is listening to me on the Dating with Confidence page. Margaret, Sandra, Zhenya, can you guys hear me? Can you let me know? Okay, so the next thing after this is that I want you to really manage your expectations for that first date. If you are going on that first date attached to outcome, I will tell you that 90% you are going to have a hard time, period. 90% you're not going to feel good about your date. It's just the way it's going to be. Because you're setting yourself up for something that completely is out of your control. But if you go on date for growth, then you can be curious and you can little by little take steps to create chemistry and inspire him to do the same, because you need to take personal responsibility. And then to see if the man is a match or not. Stop pointing fingers at the guy and say, well, why doesn't he do that? And why doesn't he show up like that? And why doesn't he want that? It doesn't matter. You show up as the woman that is irresistible. You show up as the woman that you have the ability to show up. Does that make sense? All right. So you really want to make sure that you're managing your expectation. Now, here are a few practical things that I want to tell you. Be on time. Please be on time. Be respectful. Put your cell phones absolutely in your bag. And for that time, if you have a kid, get a babysitter. Because guess what? If you expect the guy to have so much understanding for your life on that first date, you are delusional. He has no investment in you. So be respectful, and then slowly you're going to be vulnerable and you're going to open up and you're going to share with him what's going on. And that's when he is more engaged with you and he feels that he's also able to make decisions with you. Thank you, Zhenya. Does that make sense? So it's really important that you have that knowledge of, I am not going to show up as a person who is not available and I have to have my cell phone here, and because I have a kid, I have an excuse. Everyone has an excuse. The businesswoman has an excuse. The saleswoman has an excuse. The mother has an excuse. The daughter who's taking care of her parents have an excuse. Be responsible. Hi, Carrie. Awesome. I love it, Christine. Awesome. So Christine says, absolutely. So it is very important that you have that. I totally got you, Christine. Don't worry about it. So the next thing is, when you go there, please understand the difference between vulnerability and oversharing. Vulnerability looks like this on a first date. Wow, I have to say, I'm a little nervous. It doesn't, vulnerability is not, oh my God, my ex totally cheated on me and took my kids from me, and now he's not even paying me alimony. He's such a jerk. I've had such a bad life. I don't know how to do, I don't even believe that I can find love. That is oversharing and overbearing on a guy who has no investment, no attachment, no understanding of where you are. That's like inviting a guest to your home for dinner and then saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so broke, I cannot give you dinner. Can you please pay for my dinner? That's what you're doing. Then don't invite the guest. If you have not worked out your past, it is 100% your responsibility to do it. You must take time and you need to invest. Yes, it's going to require you money. It is going to require you to invest to buy a class that teaches you what to do. So you have to ask yourself, are you willing to live the rest of your life like this and be 80 years old and be alone and say, damn it, I wish when I was in my 40s or 50s or 60s, I had made this investment. Where is that money now? Or is it really important for you to have partnership in your life? And this is really, really important. And this goes back to a video that I did a while back. No sex on the first date, unless you're not looking for your life partner. Now, that said, I'm not saying that if you have sex on the first date, that means all the guys are going to totally be ghosting you or becoming MIA. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is that when you jump into sex, you mix up the expectations and you create this false physical intimacy, false emotional intimacy based on nothing, because you don't know each other. And if you want to have the kind of relationship where you want to find a relationship-ready man, therefore, you need to communicate that, you know, I'm curious about being with you in that way. However, for me, it is really important that I do that when I know I'm in an exclusive relationship. Not because you're teasing the guy, hi Linda, not because you're teasing the guy, but because you want to make sure that he understands that you are building up emotional intimacy before you get into the physical intimacy. Now, for those of you who haven't had sex for a while and want to have sex, go for it. But also know that more often when you do that, the relationship will not turn lasting, because the intimacies have been fast forwarded and they're misplaced. Emotional intimacy needs to come before sexual intimacy. Physical intimacy. Because women, we really connect in that way with sex, and then you have different expectations from the guy, and for the guy it's just been sex. Now, that said, it doesn't mean men want one thing and one thing only. My partner gets so mad when I say that. When I say that that's what women say, not that I say that. When women say that, I tell him, that is not true. Many men want to have that emotional intimacy with you. So you also need to be respectful of men. Does that make sense? Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? All right. And please never, ever go to his place or go in his car on a first date. It is absolutely ludicrous to do that, especially, not specially, but with men that you have met online, because you do not know who this man is. I don't care how much you have chatted with each other. You just don't know this man. And it is super important that you get to know him and you get to really know if he is a man where you can trust in being in his space safely. I did a live video I think I want to say it was sometime in March, beginning of March, So I really want you to go back and look for that, or if you want the link to it, post in here and say, can you please send me the link? Or if you are on the email, ask me to send you the email again, because you must know what is online dating safety, and that is crucial for dating, crucial. I have had a client who just at the end of February got raped on her date. So you must date with knowledge. And last but not least, when you go on a first date, this is something that, what date would you say would be appropriate for them to pick you up if they offer? Sammy, I can't tell you that. It all depends on how much you guys know each other, right? It really is up to, there is no like, after 5 dates, you can go to this place. I don't know, because I don't know. It's so dependent on each date. So it's really important that you really gauge with the guy. And then, you know, maybe you first meet him, and then he can come and meet your friends, and you can meet his friends and maybe his family, and you guys are going to get to know each other little by little. Not his family, meaning you're going to go to Thanksgiving to his house. I'm talking about like maybe he comes with a few of his friends, and you kind of gauge and see, you know, what is his deal. And then Google him, see what's happening on there. There's nothing wrong with you Googling the guy and knowing and learning, you know, if he is the right guy, like if his words and actions are matching. But you really need to use your street smarts in that. If you see any sign of not violence, but aggressiveness, you want to be very, very careful about it. Okay? Linda says, yes, physical and emotional safety are important. Absolutely. So what I was trying to tell you is, when you go on a first date, and this is really important, this is the last point I want to make before I wrap it up, is, and I hope you guys took notes, is that you want to make sure that you are not going on a date interviewing the men. So, when was your last relationship? Where are your parents? How old are you? Why are you still single? What do you do? Boring. Who wants to listen to that? Who wants to be in that? Would you? You hate it. Nobody wants that. But you can learn how to ask questions, and this is something that I teach in my Irresistible Woman coaching program, and my, you know, people like Sammy and Margaret and other ladies who are here, Berta, you guys have access to those phrases. I have 22 phrases that help you come up with 22 phrases that you can ask a man on a first, or, you know, the first few dates that you're getting to know each other, that's going to be open-ended and also not interviewee. And in those questions, I also say, like, this question, you can learn these things. In this question, you can learn these things. So those of you who are in the Irresistible Woman program, you can find that in the bonus section. And for those of you who are not working with me, then you need to learn these phrases, whether it's from me or somebody else. You need to come up with phrases that are not interviewee phrases. So these are the tips that I wanted to give you. I want to thank Wafa, because Wafa is the one who asked me to do this topic. So when you ask me about a topic, I will, you know, pick it. So there were a number of questions, and this was one of the questions that came in first. I mean, it was the first question that was asked, so I honored it. If you guys want me to answer your questions, or don't ask me questions, but give me topics, because this is a video. So if you have topics that you want me to cover, by all means, you can post it in the private dating tips for in our private group on Facebook, Dating Tips for Savvy Single Ladies, or just comment here. If you're listening to it in Instagram, or if you're listening to it on the dating page, or if you're listening to it on my email, just message me or comment, and I will keep track of those topics and help you. I definitely want to hear from you, okay? So do write back to me and tell me, what is your takeaway from today's dating tips or dating lesson? Okay? And I will see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, right here on Instagram, dating tips for savvy single ladies, as well as the Dating with Confidence business page, whichever is easier for you to have. But I will tell you this. If you are not in my dating tips group, that is the group you want to join, because that is where you will get the most connection with me without being my client. After that, then, you know, if you're out of that group, you know, you get less of my attention. But that group is, you know, is for women who are coming in there to get these tips that are really going to help them. I can't wait to see you guys next week. I look forward to it. And for those of you who are in the Irresistible Woman program, I will see you all on Saturday at 9 a.m. on Zoom. I look forward to it. Mwah! Bye. Write your takeaways and type me your takeaways. I want to see what you guys got from this. Okay, bye. Have a good day.